we look at these though, okay, and this is the thing I think we've got to try, again, this will take a little bit of trust on the golf course. I don't mind it being a little bit toe. You've had a couple where the golf ball's almost been there when the club's been where it is there. And you just and that, I think the way you must bounce that club in, there's a bit of tension in your arms, your muscle vibrate.
Because I haven't got a clue what I'm doing.
Exactly. I think, and you know, if you're going to hit a bad shot, you're better hitting the golf club out here somewhere than catch it in the hosel. At least the toey one's going to go somewhere. A shank's just like, I can't even bear to look at it, okay? So it's almost like the lesser of two evils. I'll bring the club in towards me, okay? The only swing thought, feet are much better. I like that, okay? The only swing thought now for you is at the top of the backswing is let the arms just fall. Once you get to here, okay, you can see now as that club sort of waggles back a little bit. See how it's moving a little bit away there? There you go. And then, so when you actually leave, the club is toe. At least I couldn't see the golf ball outside of the golf club. You had a 2 or 3 shots earlier on in the session where half the ball was this side of the golf club. I can actually see the ball looking down, like it's peeping out the side there. So it's playing peekaboo me, okay? So that's acceptable at the moment, okay? Obviously, long term, I'd want that to be middle-ish or better to middle. But at the moment now, we can do that, okay? So, takeaway, lovely.
I'm not fanning that.
No, not at all. That's really good there, yeah. Club face there, no. That, I can see the sort of toe. That's kind of the head shape there. Absolutely fine. There's your spine angle. Pretty much 90 degrees or parallel to those two lines there. So that's really good. Top of the backswing. It's a bit shorter, but now the arms are going to fall down here, okay?
I could do with being a little bit higher.
I think you should go back a bit. You just go back a bit. You just turn more, that's all.
Yeah.
I think if you've got muscle tension, you can't turn as easily.
If I turn my hip, that actually gets me up.
He will. Yeah, a bit more hip turn would help that, okay? But the arms now got to work down this yellow line. And if you watch the fact when your arms come down there now, yeah, the arms are coming out. Look at the club. That club's getting laid off perfectly, yeah? Don't have to try to...
even trying.
Exactly. There's a really great big weight on the end here, mate. It's going to drop down. And if your arms go this way, the weight of that golf club's going to go that way. The only way it's going to tip over the top now is if your right shoulder started doing something really exaggerated. But you're nowhere near that.
Where is the power created with this?
And there's no power in the golf, it's speed. Don't think power is what you're looking for. Because power comes from shoulder.
The club head speed?
Wrist hinge and unhinging, yeah. But if you're trying to block... Yeah. If you're trying to block it off...
So why does Porrick Harrington...
Yeah?
do that?
It's more speed, isn't it? It's faster.
But he's hitting it really short.
No, he's not. He's snapping that. He's putting shoulder turn with that snap. It's under control, yeah? Harrington, about 110 probably, 120.
126.
Is he exactly 126? Fair play, yeah. But that's not his play speed. That'll be his practice speed, yeah. Bryson's up to like 150, 60 practice speed, but play because what they want to try and do. And this is where this kind of Bryson's brought this in.
They want to control it.
They want to swing at 85%, yeah? That's the kind of controlled element a pro has. So if they're 100%, and we'll just use 100 mile an hour as an ease of my maths, if their 100 mile an hour is 100% swing, when they're on tour, 85% is 85 mile an hour.
Yeah.
If they can make their 100% 126, their 85 now is 110, 105, yeah? And they can get it faster and faster and faster, their controlled speed is increased, you see, and that's what they're trying to do. So you've seen Bryce on the range making swing, he's going to bring his snap his back in half. Yeah, they're just swinging as fast as they can. They're trying to create club edge speed, yeah? But they're understanding that the speed of the hands and arms whipping through the club is going to create that speed that we're trying to get, you see, and that's what we're trying to get, is club edge speed. But the club edge speed comes from that to that. That's where the speed's coming from. If you just turn your torso as fast as you can, you will get no speed. The same way, if I swing this club now with no body movement, that's a lot louder than, yeah? But if I put that body movement with the wrist hinge, then you get more speed. But you've got to work on this first, because you've been trying to stop hooking.
Together.
Exactly. You've been trying to stop hooking it because you've had that kind of like, oh, I'm flicking it. Yeah. And yeah, you have been, by the definition of a golf ball going left, flicking it. But we don't stop the flick. We keep the flick in but move the body better. So the flick then becomes a part of what the golf swing wants to achieve.
Later, really.
Precisely. Yeah, kind of the virtue of the old thing, the late hits. What do you think of the late hit years ago? Yeah, people thought late hit was like drag, and then you flick it. Exactly. Terms have changed, but the science really hasn't changed, but the understanding of it's changed.
Trying to hit it to the right
by trying to hold on to the club face, yeah, and then hit it with your shoulder by doing this. That's basically a drop shot in tennis. Yeah, you should look at a tennis player.
Lovely strikes with that.
You can get, but it's going to be a very weak strike if you're not careful, and you're going to be just blocking the ball off. And again, It's manipulation with that club.
It
When
is.
there's no pressure,
Yeah, I'm always
you're
trying to
good.
get that club head square.
But when you're on the golf course and it's the one shot you've got, and it's the last shot on the 18th, and if there's trouble left, for example, you're there going, oh, bloody hell, you're going to shove it 40 yards right, aren't you? Okay? So the club's got to basically fall. So this movement here now, the club will fall. That club now, you can see the hands for me, under the shoulders. There's your club path. You've still got a bit of wrist hinge, obviously, as you come through. That looks to a lot of people quite flicky, yeah? Yeah, but look where the ball starts, just under that crack on the, just above the crack on the screen there. You can see the ball denting the screen and turning through. It wasn't the biggest swing, obviously, but again, there's no shank to it. Obviously, the club was striking the golf ball nicely.
I'm just leaning a bit to the
Yeah,
right. And,
no, it's fine. Your spine angle's been maintained. I would say that's okay. That to a lot of you would have felt quite flicky, but there's no hanging on to that golf club. But we're getting the shaft lean that we want, that perfect impact, by letting the arms fall and move the body better. Yeah. That's going to get us here. We don't want to try and do this and push backwards, because if you lean back and then start pushing your handle forward...
so that knee just...
Yeah, just bump against the
starts
wall.
to drop.
Yeah, imagine you've got there's a wall up here, you're trying to bump into it, yeah? That's what we're trying to achieve.
But the actual little knee movement just starts the drop.
Yeah.
And then the hip...
But the thing is, the phrase you have, the torpors, or the hips start the downswing, yeah? If you're Rory McIlroy, if you're John Rahm, if you're whoever, these young guys on tour, they can get to the top of their backswing, keep their shoulders fully turned, and then unwind their hips, yeah? With all due respect to most people I teach, I can't do that. Yeah? If you try and twist your hips first, the first movement now will be that.
Yes.
And then you're going, oh, that's over the top, I've got to drop it underneath. And now you're here, your arms, if your forearms out there, hit the ball. I mean, the only way you as a good golfer can do that is basically fold your club around it.
To hit the ball.
Exactly, yeah. So you're adjusting to some... And that's why you've got no idea where the club is. Because you're just trying to fight it all the way. It's like a wild snake under...
I don't need to know where the club head is.
No, exactly, yeah. All you got to do is know what the butt of the club's going to do from up here, let it fall down. The weight of that club will just unhinge of the golf ball, yeah? Don't try and complicate things, mate. Okay?
It's dead easy.